Hi class, my name is Mr. Durst and I'm here to give you your overview of your Bio 214 A&P2 class. I'm currently recording this introduction to the course video right now as we speak, and I'm logged in here as with student view. So there are a couple things I want to emphasize for you while we're going through this recording. First, the big thing is make sure you spend time every single day working on this class. There's a lot going on in this class. We have to put in the time. We have some assignments due Wednesday of this week, syllabus quiz and lab expectation quizzes. These are kind of funsy, really straightforward, really easy assignments, but you need to make sure to get them done. We will be using Visible Body. It's a digital cadaver platform in this class. Visible Body is going to allow for you to study the body parts. It's kind of like having a bunch of teaching models on your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here just to show you what I'm talking about. Durstar.edu. So within Visible Body, the big thing I want you to focus on really is to go to my apps. We have the Visible Body Suite and the A&P app right here. The A&P app that's loading right now is going to be an alternative online textbook. It's kind of a high school A&P textbook. So if you're looking for a good introduction to human anatomy and physiology for the course content, kind of a primer before we dive into the actual meat and potatoes, this is a good primer thing to work through. So you can click on heart and hey, the heart's highlighted. You can see the heart in teal. It's just a good introductory e-textbook. And then for the meat and potatoes, we have the Visible Body Suite. With the Visible Body Suite, you can find things in a lot more depth, a lot more detail. So for instance, well, I'll wait for it to load. It takes a wee bit for it to load. While it's loading, I'm going to introduce you to the course calendar. Make sure that you bookmark this course calendar right here and our course YouTube channel. So I'll go ahead and click on the course calendar and pull up our week 1 lab objectives right here. Oh, still loading. And we can see we have exercise 18 on blood, and then we have, it says Visible Body A&P app, so that's chapter 28 in the A&P app that I just showed you. But there's also a bunch of body parts that you need to know that are listed, like the interatrial septum or the interventricular septum or the papillary muscles. And to find those, you can load the Visible Body Suite. It's currently initializing. There we go. And let's focus on human anatomy. And I like to spend time going through this view. So I'm going to focus on the heart. We have a beating heart right here that we can pull up. And I'll pause it here, and we can start clicking on the different parts within the heart so you can see what exactly it is you're looking for. You start clicking through and identifying the body parts that you need to know. And I want to emphasize there's always going to be way more than what you need to know. If you're looking for something specific, you can hit the search function. I'm going to back it up here. Let's go back to the menu. And if we go with just a traditional view, let's do systems views. And we can click on just our overview of the cardiovascular system. Let's say I'm looking for the right atrium. I can click show me, and it'll zoom in on that specific body part that you need to know for lab. For lab purposes, we're going to have lots of screenshots of the body parts from Visible Body. For Visible Body, make sure that you get signed up. To get signed up for Visible Body, there is the link right here for visible body, and you will need to click this link. You've got to click this specific one. Even if you've already signed up for visible body and have an account, click that link to get added to the BIO 214 2023 summer section. We have the course calendar, course YouTube channel. We need you to get Lockdown Browser so that you can have access to the exams. All exams are proctored with Lockdown Browser. Something brand new this summer, you're my guinea pigs, is you get to work with a lab manual written by Dr. Arndt and myself. This lab manual, the goal of writing this lab manual is to make it much more cost effective for you as students. So as a student, you're going to need to click the link. That'll give you the website you need to go to, glrcontent.com. And then from glrcontent.com, you don't have an access code. Getting an access code through the bookstore will cost you 20-30% more. It's much more cost effective to just click the Purchase Directly button. After you click that Purchase Directly button, type in UW Eau Claire or Eau Claire, and then Human Anatomy and Physiology 2 will be in the drop-down menu. You can click the Summer 2023 section and then make it into that section. And I have the lab manual pulled up right here for you. So as we look at our lab manual, it's only the content that I want you to know. So you can click on, for instance, exercise 19, heart anatomy, and there'll be some poll questions or some interactive features. And as you're clicking through the lab manual, bolded terms are ones that we want you to know. And I use those lab objective lists that I've been relying on so much for the last couple of years to write this lab manual. So cardiomyocytes on the lab objective list, and I see a little typo right here. We'll talk more about typos in a bit. This is the first edition. You are the first class to use this lab manual. There's going to be a lot of little typos. Each section in the lab manual is going to end with a review question, and I'll just click this one randomly and hit submit. These are ungraded. You get unlimited attempts, and then you can see how you did. Apparently, I clicked the right answer randomly without reading it. Go me. So as we're looking at this lab manual, again, pay attention to the bolded terms within the lab manual, and then all the way at the very end of the lab manual, we have an assignment for you to do. Each lab exercise, exercise 18, 19, 20, so on and so forth, will have 10 post-lab review questions. And these post-lab review questions are for you to complete. These are graded. They go towards your lab participation grade. And as you're clicking through the questions, you can say, click that. I want to save my answer. I'll skip that question. Here's an ordering question. Now with these post-lab review questions, you get unlimited attempts. You also are going to be able to have the highest grade only graded in the gradebook. And when you hit submit, it'll be like, hey, you have unanswered questions. What do you want to do? Do you sure you want to submit? I'm sure I want to submit. The question one I answered correctly, the one I left blank was incorrect. So as you're looking and going through these post-lab review questions, my goal here is to give you a point incentive to study the lab content. You can do them as many times as you need to in order to score 100%. To access this lab manual, you'll need to buy it for $70. The normal lab manual for this class that I've traditionally used costs $180 plus another $120 for the online component. So as far as I am concerned, this is very lean and mean. Instead of having to pay close to $400 for the lab material supplements, we've gone from 180 plus 120 down to $70. So a key goal of mine with writing this was to save you a pretty penny. As we're looking at, I'm going to go ahead and close this tab out and that tab out. As we're looking at the lab manual in more detail, I have a discussion board set up for you to report typos. If you find a mistake in the lab manual, and I am positive there's going to be 1,000,001 tiny little typos, like saying figure 30.1 instead of figure 19.1 in the body of the text, you can get a point of extra credit on a lab exam. To get that point of extra credit on your lab exam, you need to be the first one to make a post on this discussion board. This is how you report the typos to me. And because all your posts are time-stamped, I, as your instructor, can be like, hey, you are the first one. So be the first one to make a post on the discussion board and tell me exactly where in the lab manual, exercise number, section number, the typo or mistake is. And then you need to insert in the body of the text a screenshot, not attach it. I need to be able to scroll down and just see the picture. I don't want to have to click a bunch of extra files and links. So insert a screenshot of the typo or mistake with that mistake highlighted. And then type up a 1 or 2 sentence saying what the mistake is and how it should be corrected. So for instance, last week when I was looking over the lab manual, I noticed that figure 18.2e didn't load. The file was corrupted. I had this just placeholder icon. So I said title, exercise 18, section 18.4. Here's a screenshot of the figure. My explanation says photo of basophil is corrupted. Publisher needs to reintegrate a new photo. That has already been taken care of. I emailed the publisher on that one. So as you find these typos and mistakes, I'm compiling them, and then I'm going to send a list off to the publisher of all the little oopsies that need to get fixed before we use this lab manual in the fall semester. So it's a win-win. You get some extra credit, and then I'm crowdsourcing this to you in terms of finding little typos, because I'm at the point where I've been reading this over and over and over again, and I'm blind to the typos because I just can't see them. And I know they're there, but I just can't see them. So that is our overview of the class. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. If they're private, if they're kind of general content questions, a good spot to post them is going to be within the lab contents or lecture content portion of the course. And as always, if you have a private question, maybe about your grade calculation, send me an email, and I'll take care of that for you. That's all for now. I want to keep this video less than 15 minutes. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out. I'm here for you. Have a blast.